I'm with a select group of panellists for the art show today, so I'm just going to ask them questions before they see the pictures that we have in our makeshift gallery. So, does anyone here visit any sort of art galleries?
I did a few days.
Okay.
The Kelvin Grove. It's free. It was raining. Need a coffee.
So, you say you have visited an art gallery. What exhibition was it?
It was the woman.
What was the most interesting thing that you've seen?
The most interesting thing that I've seen, the thing I can remember most, is the empty room. No, there was also a wonderful sheet of paper that I thought was blank at first, and then realised it was Braille musical notes.
Oh, right, okay. Is anyone worked in an art gallery, or...?
No.
I have a friend who works in the Kelvin Grove.
Oh, nice.
I went to the Kelvin Grove, then I went to the Glasgow Museum, I think it is, the one next, sort of, with the horsemen.
Floating heads.
Yeah.
I've been to Paisley Museum, an art gallery or something like that, and some of the stuff there's quite good.
What would you say is the main attractions?
Well, I went last year for my course. I was doing an art course last year, and but I think we just went to see, I think it was local artists' work. It was quite interesting.
Nice. Okay. Does anyone here have any favourite artist of all time?
Leonardo da Vinci.
Fantastic.
Salvador Dali.
Salvador Dali. Nice. I want to stress this isn't just about paintings, this can be about sculptures and such like as well.
Banksy's probably one of the biggest names that I'd say.
Alright.
Just because he's unique style.
Yeah. What has been your favourite work of his so far?
Actually a controversial one where he did LA banner, and it was a Mickey and Minnie Mouse, and it was put in the papers because it was I think it was a porn star that they'd put it up beside them. The actual picture itself looked amazing. The social commentary that runs through them is pretty good. So
his are pretty big for social commentary.
I think my favourite artist, I can't remember his name, but the one who sort of done structure for the Sagrada de Familia.
And what about you two girls?
Reid Kerr. I quite like Peter Howson's work.
Alright.
Glasgow based.
Nice. And what would you say has been his most famous work?
I can't actually remember, but I remember I did a bit in high school about him.
Okay.
I did a wee bit in my exam about him, but I can't remember.
The art that we'll be having on display later on is very varied. There is some Banksy in there, there's a bit of Michelangelo, and there's some propaganda art. So what do you personally expect to see from today's exhibition?
Expect to be amazed and wondered and enthralled.
Well, that will happen. Is there anything else? Shock and awe. Right, I'm sure we could just about do that for you. Here are the artworks from the art show. First up in our art collection today is Damien Hirst. Born on 7th of June 1965, he is an English artist, entrepreneur and art collector. He is the most prominent member of the group known as the Young British Artists, or YBAs, who dominated the art scene in Britain during the 1990s. He is internationally renowned and is reportedly Britain's richest living artist, with his wealth valued at £215 million in 2010. The work we have shown is his Cow and Formaldehyde. Death is a central theme to Damien Hirst's work. And next up we have Tracy Emin, also a member of the Young British Artists, or YBAs. She was born on the 3rd of July in 1963 in Croydon. Her most famous work has been her Unmade Bed, which was a Turner Prize nominee in 1999. Third in the pile today is Michelangelo's David. David is a masterpiece of Renaissance sculpture created between 1501 and 1504 by the Italian artist Michelangelo. It is a 17-foot marble statue of a standing male nude. The statue represents the biblical hero David, a favoured subject in the art of Florence. Originally commissioned as one of a series of statues of prophets to be positioned along the roofline of the east end of the Florence Cathedral, the statue was instead placed in a public square outside the Palazzo della Signoria, the seat of civic government in Florence, where it was unveiled on the 8th of September 1504. Andy Warhol's Shop Marilyn's. This is an iconic painting of Marilyn Monroe. It was originally in 5 different canvases: red, orange, light blue, sage blue and turquoise. The work got its name because the friend of the studio they were stored at asked to shoot them. Warhol thought they wanted to take a photograph, but she shot a stack of 4 of them with a single shot from a revolver. The turquoise one was not in this stack. And up next is a bit of a change in tone, as we have some North Korean propaganda. This propaganda poster is said to be entitled Punch the Capitalists. This is one of a series of posters released by the government of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea in January 2003 as a response to the US including North Korea in the axis of evil. This one depicts the Capitol building in Washington DC being destroyed by a red soldier. And last but definitely not least is Banksy. Banksy is an anonymous graffiti artist, political activist, film director and painter. His satirical street art and subversive epigrams combine irrelevant dark humour with graffiti done in a distinctive stenciling technique. Such artistic works of political and social commentary have been featured on streets, walls and bridges of cities throughout the world. Banksy's work was born out of the Bristol underground scene, which involved collaborations between artists and musicians. According to author and graphic designer Tristan Manco, Banksy was born in 1974 and raised in Bristol, England. The work that we see is of a soldier being frisked by a young girl. This was done on a wall that separates Jerusalem and Bethlehem. Okay, now you have seen each artwork. Does anybody have any questions about a specific artwork at this moment in time?
Yes.
Okay.
Is it illegal to put a pair of pants on Michelangelo's David?
I think, judging by what art was at the time, nudity was not necessarily classed as, sexual.
I like the Marilyn Monroe one.
What was the specific thing that you liked about that?
I like Marilyn Monroe.
Nice. Is there anyone else wanting to put in their 2 cents on what they had seen?
The cow that was cut in half was funny.
Yeah, the cow in
Pretty
formaldehyde.
gross.
Yeah, I think that's the central theme of Damien Hirst's work, because he is so into death.
Morbid.
He's probably Britain's richest living artist, so hey. Aside from your reservations on Michelangelo's David, does anyone have any artworks that they disliked?
I didn't like the one with the bedroom.
Didn't like that either.
The messy room and all the condoms lying about and all that stuff.
And what was the main reasons for that?
Because I thought that it was pathetic, to be quite honest with you.
You didn't think it was art?
No, I didn't
No,
think it was
I
that
didn't think it was art
I
at all.
think it was just basically in a studio. Basically somebody's got their bed, you know what I mean, messed up a bit and just
Take a picture.
you could argue,
art.
you could argue anything's art though.
Yeah, but put it this way, right? Most teenagers
You try and
would
put through
probably
that
have an
backwards.
artwork then, if you look at their rooms, if you know.
Yeah.
So your main concern so far has been that you did not perceive as art?
No, I didn't like it.
No. Okay, well, the reason for, I'll obviously explain, the reason for the certain artworks that we chose, being the likes of Michelangelo's David, this one, and Banksy, was that everybody perceives art as different.
Yes, I've got my opinion.
And obviously there's a lot of different political statements and, urban statements that people want to make.
Yeah.
And that is why the 6 that were picked were picked. Okay, so, now that you've seen all the pictures and you've had your say on what ones you like, what has been your overall impressions on the exhibition?
Well, I'll now look at art with an open mind and realise that anything can be turned into art after seeing it.
I would have liked to see more Glasgow artists, to be honest.
My feeling is mutual within art. Still the same, to be honest. Art's art. Doesn't matter what you like or what doesn't matter. Or what you don't like is just going to be the same to different people.
Just depends on what your taste is.
Basically. It's like music.